Hey, it's Dave Isaacs here with you, and today I want to take a look at a reasonably simple chord melody arrangement of the classic standard Fly Me to the Moon. So let me play it through for you one time first. So this is a pretty straightforward arrangement in the sense that I'm basically just playing the melody and then filling it out with enough of the chord to give it a full sound. And there's really no crazy chord changes in here. It's fairly straightforward. So I want to walk you through this, starting off with an A minor chord up here in the 8th position. So this is essentially like a D minor shape moved on up to the 8th fret. So I'm starting off with fret 8 of the high E string, fret 10 of the B, fret 9 of the G. So there's your D minor shape. And then adding the ring finger at fret 10 of the D string so I can strum. And now I've got ring and pinky in place, so I can glide on up to fret 12, 4th and 2nd strings, down to fret 10, and then down to fret 9 with the ring, and fret 8 of the 2nd string with the middle, and then that sets me up for what's probably a familiar D minor 7 formation. So watch this. And now from here, my pinky is free to grab the 8th fret of the 2nd string, picking up the pinky to bring out the high A, get the 1st string, pinky on the 8th fret of the 1st string, setting up this G7. Fret 5 of the D string, fret 7 of the G, fret 6 of the B, fret 7 of the high E, and I'm in position to finish the melody as well in this position. Just keep a bar, hit fret 5 of the 1st string, pinky on fret 8 of the 2nd string, middle on fret 6 of the 2nd string, 2-string bar at the 5th fret, 3rd and 2nd strings. Lift the pinky, reach it over to the 2nd string, middle, and then jumping to this C bass note at the 5th string and grabbing the key notes of C major 7. That's my middle finger on fret 4 of the G string and my pinky on fret 5 of the high E. Just using that as filler. Not filler, but a little accompaniment, filling in the space in that sense. F major 7 with an A on top. I'm playing a 3-string bar at the 5th fret with my ring finger, and my index is on the F note, the root of this chord, on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. And now from here, again, I can walk down a scale off this position, index at fret 3, pinky at fret 6 of the 2nd string, ring at fret 5 of the 2nd string. This is setting up really a B minor 7 flat 5, which we could strike if I use this shape, which is hopefully familiar to you. But the chord is index, string 5, fret 2, ring, string 4, fret 3, middle, string 3, fret 2, pinky, string 2, fret 3. So the frets are 2, 3, 2, 3. Now, if you're using pick and fingers or just thumb and fingers, you could just strike string 5 and then 2 and 3, because we're going to hit the F, hit the open E string, first fret F on the E string, and I might also grab this A on the second fret of the third string, like this. Sounds good there. And then jumping up to ring and pinky, same 2 strings, 3 and 1, fret 5, slide this back down to the 4th fret and add my middle finger. You might recognize what looks like a D7 shape. It's an E7, just moved up 2 frets. And then jumping down to the F, first fret, walking down the scale, first fret, open, 3rd fret, simple A minor, index and middle fingers, 2nd string, 1st fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret. So watch this from the F major 7. And then I'm going to keep my middle finger on that 3rd string, glide up to fret 6 and grab my index finger on fret 5 of that 4th string, and these are the primary notes of A7. So, and then I'm going to jump up again to an inversion of D minor in the 7th position. This is a 2-string bar at fret 7 on the 4th and 3rd strings, adding my middle finger on fret 8 at the 5th string. The melody note is the D, so I'm using this inversion so that I can put the D on top, but also be able to reach. So this really is a D minor chord here. So again, partial bar covering 4th and 3rd strings. It's going to cover the 2nd as well if I want to get the pinky over here to the 10th fret of the B string, and then filling this out with the middle finger on fret 8 of the A string. So watch this. And then, if I just add my ring finger to the 9th fret of the D string, so just from this, I have an inversion of G7 in the same position. I can then let go and just jump to high E string, fret 8, fret 7, and then B string, fret 8, setting me up for what hopefully is a familiar minor 7 shape, E minor 7, A7, hopefully also a familiar shape, just E-shaped bar chord, moved on up to the 5th fret, but no pinky because I want the 7th, that 5th fret note on the D string. Now, quick open B, setting up this fretted C at the 5th fret of the G string, then the middle finger on the 6th fret of the B string, that sets me up to hit this D minor 7. But notice my fingering. I've just got the bar across fret 5. So I'm really only playing 5th string, 3rd string under that bar, and 2nd string, 6th fret. And I could fill out that chord if I were strumming. That works okay too. And then 3rd fret, low G bass note, and I'm going to hit a G9, or an add 9 really, no sorry, G6-9, because of this E and this A, ring and pinky at the 5th fret. But really the trick is that I need this A in the melody, and then same position, pinky at fret 6 of the B string. This could be a C major 7 sus4, you just bring that pinky back. This may be a familiar shape. Note, index finger, string 5, fret 3, ring finger, string 4, fret 5, middle finger, string 3, fret 4, pinky, string 2, fret 5. This is C major 7, and I can reach up there and get that F, the sus4, which is the melody note, And then this chord is going to set up a turnaround with our B minor 7 flat 5 that we saw earlier and an E7. Note this fingering. And you could have the middle finger over here on the 5th string if you're strumming. If you're plucking, it works very nicely to have the middle finger on the 4th string and just play 3 strings or 4. Maybe it's 4, 3, and 1. Maybe it's all of those. Maybe you use the low E. There's room for variation here. We just know that we need an E melody note on top, filling it out with an E bass note, and then filling in the sound of the chord. We don't have to have the 7th in there, although that works very nicely coming from this B minor 7 flat 5. Keeping that pinky down and just using middle on the 5th string, 2nd fret, index on the 3rd string, 1st fret. Again, we're really just filling in space here. And then the form starts over back to the 8th position and this sort of D-shaped minor chord. This is now an A minor, just the way we started. So let me go through it slowly. And then it's actually a nice slide up into the 12th fret if you're using ring and pinky again. This is a cool sound. Obviously, I'm taking some liberties with the melody, but you would expect to do that in an instrumental version. Watch this. That's cool. So here's that A minor. A little bit of muting to make sure I'm not hitting any other notes. I need to muffle the G string with the side of this ring finger, making sure that I don't hit any bass strings, so I'm catching those with the base of my right thumb. And then if I give this a good strong strike, I can sustain the note for a slide back, and we get this nice, then come back one, frets 9 and 8, and then that sets up this D minor 7, which again, if I'm using pick and fingers or thumb and fingers, I might just play the D root, the 3rd string 7th, the 5th fret, and that minor 3rd on the 2nd string. It's just a question of what texture you like, really. You can use the full chord, or if you don't want to have as many fingers down, the advantage to pick and fingers or thumb and fingers is that you don't need to worry about muting strings if there's a note on that string you don't want to hear, or a string you just want to mute out. But it does sound nice to have that fuller sound of the strummed. Now, pinky. Right, so see how I did that? 2nd string, add the pinky, strum across to the 1st string, add the pinky on fret 8. Now here's our G7 again. Lift the pinky, 1st string, pinky 8th fret, middle 6th fret. There's that piece of a C chord at the 5th fret, 3rd and 2nd strings. Little fill-in chord, C major 7. Right, 5th string, 3rd fret, 3rd string, 4th fret with the middle finger, 2nd string, 5th fret with the pinky. And if I'm just plucking, I only need these 3 fingers. If I'm going to strum, I would add that ring finger over here on the 5th fret of the D string. Just a nice flavor to whether I strum the whole thing or not. I think I like it better without it. Here's that F major 7 again, right? 3rd position, 4th string, 3rd fret, and a 3-string bar with the ring finger. Once again, walk it down, fret 3, fret 6, fret 5, and then B minor 7 flat 5, like before, open E, there's the high F on the 1st string, 1st fret, harmonized by that middle finger on the 3rd string. Jump up to 5 and 5, same 2 strings, ring finger on the 3rd string and pinky on the 1st. Glide into this E7, right? D7 shape. Ring finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret. Middle finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and pinky, 1st string, 4th fret. Now, we could just hit that F. It walks down very nicely. Fret 1, open, fret 3, and then that simple A minor. But it does also sound nice to grab that G sharp there at the 1st fret of the 3rd string. You have the option. Here's the pinky, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret. Simple A minor, right? 3rd string, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 1st fret, jumping to a simple A7, index, 4th string, 5th fret, and middle, 3rd string, 6th fret. Once again, here is this inversion of D minor. 7th fret partial bar with index. Middle finger is on the 8th fret of the A string. 3rd string D is the melody note, and then pinky hitting that 10th fret of the B string, also melody note. And then from here, we added the ring finger on the 9th fret of the D string to create an inverted G7. And then I'm just going to jump with the melody. 8, 7 on the high E string, pinky at the 12th fret of the high E, and then this is an E minor 7 flat 5, middle and ring on fret 12 of the 4th and 3rd strings, index, fret 11 of that 2nd string, and then this is an A7. I've still got my pinky on the high E string at the 12th fret, but I moved the middle and index fingers down, so it's from this, from the D string, 12, 12, 11, 12, just hitting strings 4, 3, and 2. Notice I did land here first. And then this A7 from the D string is 11, 12, 10, 12, but I'm not hitting 12 again. It's... And then I hit the whole thing. Keeping that pinky once again on the high E string, now a partial bar at fret 10 as far as the 3rd string. Strum 4 strings, including the open D. There's D minor with an add 9. Jump or slide down to the 8th fret C note. And I'm just going to use this bar form for G because it's convenient and it sounds nice as an accompaniment chord. But I will have to jump up to finish the melody. Pinky up here to fret 7, and then filling out, harmonizing this 10th fret note on the E string with a partial bar to get 3, 2, 1. And then this is a C6. So, index finger, 8th position, 6th string, ring finger, 10th fret of the D, middle finger, 9th fret of the G. There is the 6 in C6, pinky, 10th fret of the B string, and our melody note is up here under the bar on the 1st string. Now, if you were going to go around again, at this point we would need a 2-5 to set up the return to A minor. So we might B minor 7 flat 5, A7, and then start the whole thing over again. So I'm going to walk through it one more time, and hopefully you're following along on the tab that is linked below. So here we go. as jazz chord melody arrangements go, this is fairly straightforward. I don't have a lot of real deep extensions. This is really an introduction to the style, and it's a bit more advanced than some of the other chord melody lessons that I've done on YouTube. I would definitely recommend, if you find this a bit challenging, that you go back and look at some of the other chord melody lessons, or I should just say melody and chord lessons on my channel. The simplest one is Can't Help Falling in Love with You, and then there's one of Autumn Leaves, which is also pretty straightforward. But all I'm really doing here is playing the melody as the highest note of each chord, and then reaching whatever I can of the harmony that goes underneath it. This is not a definitive arrangement by any means, and honestly, every time I play it, it's likely to be a little bit different. But it's a nice introduction. It gets you around the neck in a good way. Hopefully it teaches you some chord forms that you don't know. It's a lot of fun to play, and of course it could be expanded in all kinds of ways. So have fun with this lesson. Please like, comment, subscribe if you don't already. I appreciate your attention. This YouTube channel is doing very well, and it makes me very, very happy to get all the positive feedback I've been getting. So I'm glad that so many of you are finding this stuff helpful. Hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I will see you next time.